a trip to Insanity Island.
We are recording.
We're recording. Whoa!
We're back, baby. We're back.
Welcome to another live edition of Insanity Island. Oh, Insanity Island. It's insane.
We have coffee cups. St. Simon's Island coffee cups.
Woo! Okay, boys and girls, we have a lot to discuss today. We're going to talk about the midterms. We're going to talk about all of a sudden Trump being practically tossed out of the Republican Party because since every Republican is blaming Trump for the non-red tsunami. We're going to talk about Trump's announcement to run again, and will DeSantis run? We're going to talk about Trump being allowed back on Twitter, according to its latest poll by Elon Musk. We're going to talk about Arizona. Was the election stolen? We're going to talk about the zany sports day yesterday. We're going to talk about lifestyle and culture. Is it just accepted that elections are now stolen? Okay, so at the top, midterms. Chris Pendarvis, give us your assessment of the midterm election. Successful for the Republicans or not?
The country is over.
Oh boy. But the Republicans did take the House.
Dude, they take every time there's a midterm, it goes to the other party. That's just a gimme. So that nothing unexpected happened. It was just nothing.
But don't you find it?
The House. I can't imagine one person. Do you like massive crime and no border? Do you like giving our military to the Taliban? I mean, do you like that? Do you like that stuff? You voted for that?
It's unreal. It's unreal. But isn't there some satisfaction knowing that Nancy Pelosi is no longer in power?
Yeah.
No satisfaction.
She's done her damage. She's smiling away with her husband's gay buddies. Oh, what about that? How about that?
On a scale of 1 to 10, Chris, 10 being mega successful, 1 being a complete and utter flop, why don't you grade this midterm? Give us a ranking for the Republicans.
Pathetic. But I don't think it's all their fault.
Where do you rank it, though? Where do you rank it? Scale of 1 to 10.
It's almost like nothing happened.
Like
this
a
was
1?
Supposed to
You're
happen.
saying it's 1? You're saying it's a 1. Worst case scenario.
Well, no, actually, I'd say it's worse than that.
No, I don't give it a 1. I give it about I'll give it a 5.5 because
actually,
at least the Republicans did take the House. At least the Republicans did take the House.
They were supposed to take the House.
And the Republicans had 5 million more of the popular vote than the Democrats. 5 million.
No, I know, but that always happens in the midterms. Obama lost in the midterms. Bush lost in the midterms. Reagan lost in the midterms. Carter lost in the midterms. Bill Clinton lost in the midterms. You're supposed to lose the midterms. This was supposed to be a wave.
How do you define a wave? How would you define that?
Oh, we should have won by like 50 seats. The Senate should have come our way by double the amount. That would be a wave. But it didn't.
Okay.
And I'm like,
so because we lost the Pennsylvania Senate race and there's Arizona Senate race.
I think they cheated there too.
Okay. Well, if they cheated, how can people be blaming Trump if they cheated? Is it Trump's fault they cheated?
No. No. I think it's just gotten to the point now where they've gotten that they pushed through the mail-in ballots during the pandemic, and that was supposed to be temporary. Nothing is temporary with the Democrats. So now, in all the Democrat areas, that's it. We're never winning there again. So you can, count California gone, New York gone, Arizona's probably gone. That blows me away. Are you telling me that people that live in a border state want more of that?
It's unbelievable. I mean,
I don't believe that anybody voted for Katie Hobbs.
They're a border state. They're a border state, and they elected the open border governor. I mean, how
Yeah.
stupid can you be? Yes,
The
we
reason I
want
know
more-
it was a cheating situation. Every single poll wants the borders closed, but she won.
it makes no sense.
No, of course it doesn't make any sense.
And she didn't even debate.
No, she didn't even debate the Democrat that she ran against.
I mean,
And you're telling me that more people
how
are
do the
excited to go
accept
vote
that?
for
How
her?
do- How do the voters accept that?
I don't think
you
they
know?
did. I don't think they did.
Yeah.
I think they
And
did.
Carrie Lake, I mean, she was a great candidate. I mean, she's
Not only
smart.
that, do you remember at the
Please.
beginning of the election? At the beginning of the election, immediately problems in Arizona. Remember that? They had to shut the voting down for a while. They had to do something with the machines. It's always Arizona that there's a problem with.
Yeah.
And now the woman that didn't even debate the other Democrat. You can't tell me people were excited to go vote for her. I don't believe that. I'm sorry, I don't believe that.
Truly amazing. So on the Thursday after the election in Arizona, at the peak counting day, suddenly in the largest polling place, the largest polling center in Arizona, the security cameras just shut down. They just broke. And they were out for around.
Hey, Epstein killed himself too.
Yeah, exactly.
His
these
cameras went down.
These security cameras were out for 9 hours, mysteriously out for 9 hours. So, you know, people are really beginning to doubt our election process. Like,
They should.
you know, what's going on here? We're going to discuss that later in the lifestyle and culture section. But where do you, Chris, I'm curious, because you seem to be more of a centrist in the Republican Party, I would kind of say.
I'm hard
you're not-
right.
You're pretty hard right, but
Yeah.
you're not a blind Trumper like a lot of people.
No,
are.
I don't even want him to run now.
Well, that's where I wanted to go. That's where I wanted to go.
Nothing against Trump.
Trump did announce that he's running. But you have a large section of the Republican Party that just do not want him to run.
Yeah, you know why? You know why?
I want to understand this a little bit more. Is it because of the midterms, or had there been this big red tsunami, would Trump still have that support to run again, and would he have been more embraced of his announcement to run again? Would that have been more?
The problem with Trump is the fact that he started going after other conservatives. He started going after DeSantis, and there was somebody else that he went after. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Okay.
What are you doing?
Okay.
You're
So
not
the remark-
providing the party.
I think it was one remark that he made on Ron DeSantis. It was an offhanded remark during a rally. He called him a nickname, Ron.
Just sanctimonious.
Yes, Ron DeSantimonious. That was what he said. He hasn't really said anything else. He did make that little off-the-cuff little remark when he was reading of the poll numbers. So because of that, people are reading a lot into that, like he's attacking Ron DeSantis and this sort of thing. And yeah, I can see how they made some people a little upset, because after all, Ron DeSantis was the only one that really won convincingly, in the midterms. I mean, he slaughtered the Democrat.
And then he went after Candace Owens.
So is that the reason they're upset at? Is that the reason they're upset at Trump, or is it because the midterms got lost, or a combination of both?
No, I think it's they thought Trump has a reputation for being very divisive. And it's hard to win when you have a divisive guy. And when he started going after people on the right, he went after Candace Owens too. And
What did he say about Candace Owens?
I can't remember. I got to go back and look. But I saw a video on that too. I need to go look what he said. It doesn't matter. In this point in time, you have to stick together with the people who are behind you. Quit. Just because DeSantis is popular right now, don't turn on him. If Candace says you something you don't like, ignore it. God, quit allowing every little thing to get to you.
Okay, Trump, you got to remember though, Chris, and this is where I think a lot of Republicans kind of lose sight. Remember, Trump is not a politician.
Yeah, no.
He's not. So he's not going to act in a typical politician manner. Okay, so because he makes fun of, someone, and it just so happens they're a conservative, does that mean we're just going to turn our back on him and forget
Yeah.
all the accomplishments that he's done? And
I'm not saying do that.
okay,
No, but yeah, you turn your back on him. If he's going to start fucking with our ability to take the country back from the crazies, then he's part of the problem. Let things go from time to time, dude. Jeez. We
okay,
can go upset over nothing.
okay.
Bottom
So-
line is, look, when he went after DeSantis, the reason it looked so bad is because if DeSantis had fucked up and then he went after him, that'd be different. But DeSantis was doing great. It made Trump look very petty. It made him look jealous. It's like, what are you doing? Are you mad because he's more popular than you right at this second? That doesn't mean he's going to stay that way, Trump. Just keep being yourself and do good things. Don't trash him, because it's going to be hard for you to get all the DeSantis people voting for you now. Good, great. Thanks a lot. Good job.
Well, okay, you gotta understand something though, Chris. The election is 2 years away. Okay. In another 6 months, this could be all forgotten about. Remember when Trump went after
No. My point
McCain
is,
really hard? Remember when Trump went after McCain really hard in 2015? Everyone thought Trump was over. Everyone thought Trump was over.
yeah, but dude,
And everyone just kind of forgot about it.
yeah, but my point, well, for one thing, nobody liked McCain. So that kind of helped him a little bit. McCain was a pariah in the Republican Party. So him going, it's what he said that sounded bad. It's not that he went after McCain, because we don't like him either. It's how he, it was, I like people that don't get caught, and I'm like, oh God, what'd you say?
Everyone
It's
thought
not-
he was over at that point. Everyone thought he was over at that point, and he just came back. Okay, so
No, I know.
that brings us to our second topic. Okay, Trump announcing that he is in the race. He is the first Republican to announce that he is in the race for 2024. How do you feel that announcement was received, and how do you think his speech went?
Speech was fine, even though I think it's still going on, isn't it?
Well, he made about a 30-minute speech when he announced.
It was a 65-minute speech.
Okay, 65 minutes. Okay.
It was too long. What he said was fine, but him announcing, it's 2 years. It's too early. He should have waited for some stuff to drop into place and then announce.
Do you think he went ahead and announced so early to kind of prevent DeSantis from running?
No, because he could have just called DeSantis and said, hey, I'm running. So, yeah, you're going to be running against me if you know. He didn't have to do it publicly. He could have just called him.
The next question is that everyone is wondering, is Ron DeSantis going to take on Trump in the primary?
I hope he doesn't. Because if he doesn't and he gets behind Trump, Trump will probably win. But if they both get in there, they're going to divide each other's fan bases up. And it's going to be tough for us to win.
Okay, so you're hoping that Ron DeSantis does not run against Trump for 2024?
Yeah, he's so young. Finish your term.
44. DeSantis is 44 years old. He's 44.
Yeah, that's plenty young. Just
Very young.
Yeah, just finish your term and then run for president.
I think that is how it's going to play out. What do you give the probability that Ron DeSantis will run against Trump? What do you think the odds are?
I don't know. It's probably 50-50.
You think it's that high?
Yeah, because DeSantis is never going to be more popular than he is right now. This is his peak. His advisors are probably telling him that.
Well, he just okay. If it's on his mind, he has not once but twice now shot down the whole Ron DeSantis narrative of going against Trump. He's done it twice. The first time he did it was at a press conference. I believe it was on Friday. He said, look, everyone's jumping the gun about me, running against Trump. Everyone should just chill out. So he did that. The second time was yesterday when he had his lawyers contact one of those super PACs that wants Ron DeSantis to run and threaten him legally with a lawsuit that if they keep using his name and his likeness, that he's going to sue them. So that's a big, big signal that he's not running. I mean, he's already. What's that?
I hope not.
So I give the odds of Ron DeSantis running against Trump about 5%. I think it's 95% more likely that he doesn't run because he's got little kids. I mean, does he want to travel all 50 states and do a grinding year-and-a-half long brutal primary against Trump and then another tour across all 50 states right after that? That means he's got to go 100 states. He's got to do it twice, once in the primary, once in the general election. Does he really want to do that? I mean, that's a major grind with little kids, a wife with cancer. I mean, I just don't see him doing that, and I also just don't see him running against Trump. I think he knows that Trump could it'd be a bloody fight to go up against Trump. I think he knows it.
6 years from now, his kids will be in their teens. It'll be better for him.
Exactly. That's my point. I think that he'll do it.
You know what would prove the cheating? You know what would prove it? And it would prove it even the Democrats would have to admit it if this happened. Say something happens to Trump and he can't run. Something physical, like he just can't run. Gets in an accident, dies, whatever. And so to save America, DeSantis does run. Trump's out of the picture. DeSantis runs against Biden. Mr. Unpopularity, right? Everybody hates Biden. Hell, the Democrats didn't even campaign with him. They were like, no, please go away, which probably helped them. Imagine that. You're talking about Captain America with DeSantis. Everybody loves him. Against Sleepy Joe that shakes hands with ghosts.
You would think it'd be a slam dunk, wouldn't you? But then again,
exactly.
I thought the odds would be a slam dunk against Fetterman.
Right, but how would you feel Biden wins that election? What would you think?
I would be very, very frustrated. I would think that's it. That's it. The Republicans can never win again. I mean, here's this.
No, but would you think that would you think there's some cheating going on there?
I would think there's cheating.
I would.
I think democracy and fair elections as we know it is forever gone. And you know what? If that scenario were to play out, what you just described, if something were to happen to Trump, he drops out of the race for whatever reason, DeSantis runs against Biden, and DeSantis secures the nomination, the Republican nomination, which I believe he would.
And everything's going
Biden,
great. And all the polls show that he's winning, and then he loses.
And Biden wins, I would be convinced that our election process is rigged. I would be convinced.
Because what would happen?
I just wouldn't believe the American people would vote for with someone that stupid over someone that smart and better and stronger and all of that.
Hey, that's 2 years from now, which means Biden's going to be even worse by then.
That's right.
He'll be having conversations with himself and answering them himself. That's how bad he's going to be by then. And you'll see a Joe Biden event. There'll be like 8 people there. You'll see a DeSantis event. There'll be 30,000 people there. And then Biden wins the election. Give me a break.
Yeah. Okay. So let's end this. Yep. Let's end this topic with some predictions. And I'll go first. I predict that Trump will secure the Republican nomination for 2024, and Ron DeSantis will not run. What's your prediction, Chris, of the 24 Republican nomination process?
I think that'll happen, but I don't know if he. After what happened on this election, I don't have any faith in our elections. Remember the scenario I just told you, that if that happened, everybody would know that. See, I'm already there. I don't have any faith in we should have won this one. Kerry Lake won. Fetterman lost. He didn't win that election. People weren't excited to go vote for the Antifa thug. I mean, my God, he's fucking wearing a hoodie. He's got tattoos all over his arm. He's got a goatee. And he's bald.
He can barely
He looks like
form
somebody that would rob your store before being a senator.
Exactly.
God, but they're trying to tell me that everybody went out and voted for him. No, I don't believe that.
What's your prediction on who's going to be the Republican nominee in 24?
It'll probably be Trump.
Okay. So, third topic. Okay. Elon Musk of Twitter fame has conducted a poll among all Twitter users. And the question was, should Donald Trump be allowed back on Twitter? And the majority, and there was like millions of people were in this poll, and 52% said yes, Donald Trump should be allowed back on Twitter. So the invitation has been extended. I think the way Elon Musk did it was brilliant to kind of entice Trump to get back on Twitter, because he's on Truth Social, which is a publicly traded company that Trump supported and this kind of thing. So
he owns that company.
Yeah. Yep. So the big question is, will Trump go back on Twitter? Your thoughts?
No, he probably should, but he's put all that money into his own thing. And if he leaves it, or if he goes on to Twitter, there's no reason for anybody to go to his thing.
Correct.
That's why I don't think he will. I think he would if he hadn't done that, but he's already done it. And he's got it,
Do you think that Trump's regretting that now, doing that whole Truth Social thing? You think he's regretting that?
I don't know. It depends on if they're making money or not.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know.
I either. I know there's a publicly traded outfit that went public, the digital something or another, and I think they own Truth Social, but we'd have to look. Okay. So next topic, Arizona and Pennsylvania. Okay. So you had Fetterman winning the Senate seat in Pennsylvania. You had you had Hobbs beating Kerry Lake for governor. You had the Democrat senator winning in Arizona. Everyone watching these two states, what were any or all of those elections stolen? Yes or no?
I'm going to go with yes.
Okay.
And which ones? I'm going to go with yes again.
All of them. You're saying all of them? Because it was a sweep by the Democrats in Pennsylvania and Arizona. It was a complete sweep. So,
like you said, in Arizona, the cameras were turned. The cameras were turned off. Give me a break.
Yeah. The cameras
always in those places. Always.
It's unbelievable. Sports. What a crazy day yesterday in college football. You had Tennessee get absolutely clobbered by South Carolina. Tennessee had a chance to go to the college playoffs because Ohio State and Michigan have to play each other. So one of those teams will lose, means Tennessee could have moved up. Well, they just blew their chances against South Carolina. Their worst loss in the history of the poll era to Tennessee.
I would think it would be their worst loss ever.
Unless there's
another one that was worse.
It was a bad loss. Then you had TCU make a literally last-second field goal to win the game.
Tim, did you notice that every game, the team that was supposed to get annihilated almost won the game? Even with Georgia, that was a close game.
Kentucky almost beat Georgia. TCU.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Whoa. Georgia pretty much controlled the game. It's not like they were ever losing or anything like that. But they should have annihilated, and they didn't. And it was close the whole game. Ohio State almost lost to Maryland. Was it Maryland?
Yes, Michigan almost lost.
Michigan almost lost to Baylor. TC almost lost.
Baylor played TCU. Baylor almost
right. Who played Michigan? Illinois. And they almost beat it.
Michigan had to have a last minute field goal to beat Illinois.
Everyone did. All the teams, all the major teams that were in play almost lost yesterday. Everyone.
It was amazing. So it's going to be
really
interesting to see.
They did win their games, but every one of them were much closer than they should have been.
Really close.
Georgia Tech won.
Really close.
Georgia Tech beat North Carolina.
When the poll comes out, I think it comes out tomorrow, the college football playoff poll, which is now the most important poll. Georgia, I think, will be number 1. I think
Oh, yeah.
Ohio State. I think Ohio State will be 2, Michigan 3, and TCU 4. What do you think?
That's probably about right. It's not going to change until Michigan and Ohio State play each other.
And what's going to happen then? I mean, like, if that's
Well,
a
they're gonna
really
draw.
close, if that's a really close game, do you think the top 4 will even change that much?
Yeah, because they don't play anybody all year.
So
They don't-
who's
they
going to get? Okay,
What
Ohio
quality
State,
win? Hey, what quality win right now does Michigan have? What quality win does Ohio State have?
I can't really think of one.
They just
So
play about the high school teams until the end of the year.
what? Who do you predict? Okay, what do you predict will happen? Will be a week and a half from now. Will be the top 4, assuming TCU and Georgia win.
Well, one of Michigan and Ohio State's going to be there. But then who would be the 4th team?
It could be Alabama.
I doubt it. They got 2 losses.
So does everybody else. It seems.
I'm not saying
Like,
it couldn't be. I'm just saying I doubt it. They'll probably pick somebody that's got 1 loss. Hold on. Who's
who?
out there with 1 loss? I think that's who it would be.
Okay.
Whoever
All right,
that is.
So moving on to
Oh,
lifestyle.
USC. If USC wins their thing, they'll get in.
Yeah, USC.
Forgot about USC.
USC.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, what if Georgia loses to LSU?
Oh, that would be awful.
Okay.
If
Hold
Georgia,
on. Listen. Let me finish. Georgia loses to LSU, but because it's such a quality loss, just like last year, they go down to number 4 but get in. And then Alabama moves up because TCU loses their championship game.
Oh,
And then you got 3 SEC teams in the playoffs.
that would be amazing, wouldn't it?
That'd be hilarious.
3 SEC teams in the playoff. It could happen.
They could. What that
It
means
could
is
happen if at Tennessee
Ohio
won,
State would move to number 1, so we would play them first, and
had
Alabama would have to play
Tennessee-
LSU again.
Had Tennessee won, you could have 4 teams
From
in
the
the
conference.
playoff. 4 teams:
Goodness.
Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, LSU.
Wouldn't that be unbelievable?
That would be unbelievable.
That'd be hilarious.
Tennessee lost. I mean,
No, they
Tennessee
didn't
just
lose. They lost twice last night. They lost 2 full games last night. That's like 2 games.
It was bad. It was. I couldn't believe
What, 65?
63 points South Carolina put on them. 63 points.
Dude,
I mean,
I watched the highlights. I
That's
think South Carolina scored every time they got the ball. Like every touch they scored.
all of a sudden that South Carolina quarterback looked like a Heisman Trophy contender.
Yeah,
Last
but
night.
I bet their fans were going, where the hell was this team all year?
I know.
Why couldn't y'all do this on Georgia?
They'll go to a bowl though, and hey, how about Arkansas getting bowl eligible by beating the crap out of Ole Miss?
Yeah, that blew me away.
I
So
mean,
Ole Miss,
Ole Miss was supposed to be really good.
well, they won a bunch of games. They beat Alabama, didn't they?
No, they lost to Alabama barely.
That's right.
Barely.
That's right. They barely. That's right. I don't know.
So lifestyle.
I'm glad
and culture.
though, because I hate Lane Kiffin.
Oh, I know. Lifestyle and culture. Okay. Is it just accepted now that elections are going to be stolen in swing states? I mean, is it just accepted now? Like
No, it's
Like-
accepted.
because if
No,
you
no,
talk
that's
about
wrong.
it, you're
That's
a
wrong.
if you talk about it, you're a conspiracy theorist.
No, that's fine. Whatever. I don't care what they say. No, it's a fact that all Democrats cheat in every state, in every county, in every election, and in some places they get away with it because they own the state, circa New York and California, and a little bit of Arizona.
And
I don't
Pennsylvania.
believe. I don't believe that guy that Zeldin lost. I don't believe that. She was a terrible candidate. People hated her. Nobody was showing up at her. He killed her in the debate. I'm not buying it. All the polls showed he was going to win, and then miraculously, the Democrat just wins in a Democrat state, run by Democrats with Democrats everywhere, with a couple of Democrats thrown in, with a dash of Democrat.
Yeah.
They always win that, don't they? Always win.
Well, have we thought of this? Have we thought of this? That in these swing states that decide national elections, and not just swing states, but also states. I mean, Arizona isn't considered a swing state. They voted every Democrat that was running. Okay, so could it be possible that this is just what the people want? I mean, they want socialism, and they don't care if the candidate is a complete idiot. They just
No.
This is the direction they want to go. Is that possible?
No, because, and I can prove this. The kind of people that want free shit all the time and they just want socialism, they're just that stupid and they don't really know what's going on. They don't go wait in lines to vote. They just don't.
Well, I guess that's a good point.
I don't think they were there. I think they just cheated.
Well, it's either one of two things. This
You know,
is what
hey, don't you see what they
want.
did to DeSantis? The left and The View and all these media people, they were accusing DeSantis of cheating by arresting people who were cheating, who were caught cheating. He arrested them, and they call that cheating. It's like, oh, you won't let us cheat.
You won't let us cheat.
God. I mean, that's what
Do
The
you
View
think-
said.
Do you think there will still be mail-in ballots at the
Forever.
next election cycle? So it's here forever.
Dude, it's
Here
like
for-
a benefit. Once you start that shit, it never goes away.
Then-
I'm
well,
old.
if-
I've got to be able to vote this way.
If there's always going to be mail-in ballots, and you know what? I don't see how we're going to stop socialism. I don't see how we're going to stop it. I mean, if mail-in
do.
ballots, because they will manipulate the elections every time. With states that have mail-in ballots, the states have mail-in ballots permanently now. They will just manipulate the outcome every single time.
No, I know how to fix that.
How-
We're gonna
how
have
do
to
we
start,
fix it?
we just start doing what they fucking do.
Yeah, but Republicans don't do that.
Well, we're gonna
Republicans
have
don't.
Well, we're gonna have to. They're not gonna have jobs.
Well,
We need to start cheating too. I want to print ballots up. I want to throw them into the thing. I want to do what they do. I
the
want to tell
problem is
I want to tell the Democrats to leave the building so I can start throwing them into a machine like they do.
the challenge is that Republicans are typically private sector people, and Democrats are typically public sector people. So
And they're also
it's-
radical.
it's going to be very hard to organize a movement to get private sector people to cheat in an election. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I mean,
we're
I
gonna
can
have
see
to do it.
public sector people do it because it's part of their livelihood, you know, being part of the government. But it's just going to be challenging. I hear what you're saying, the whole fight fire with fire thing.
When I say cheating, I don't mean to physically. What I'm saying is they're doing the mail-in ballots. We need to start doing it too. Period. Just end it. Oh, we'll compete with you on what you're doing. We'll see who wins then. Because
Okay.
right now it's unfair. Right now it's not fair.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to see how all this transpires. I mean, I was
I am
absolutely
so devastated.
stunned. I think every Republican was stunned by the results of those midterm elections. I think the Arizona races were just absolutely stunning.
Dude,
I think
they got their
the race.
I think they
was
got their freaking evil, satanic, democratic, evil clause into the election in the last election, and they haven't let go. And they're like this, you know, and they're there now, and we have to fight it somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're winning by mail-in ballot, we just start doing it.
But have you noticed the only person really talking about the election theft issue is Trump?
And Carrie Lake.
Okay. But Trump is really the only one other than Carrie Lake. But Carrie Lake doesn't have the audience that Trump has. The only one talking about is Trump. What other than Carrie Lake? Let's carve Carrie Lake out for a moment. other than Trump, who else on the national stage is talking about election theft being a serious problem?
Hardly anybody.
Exactly.
A
I
few
mean,
people on the
is it okay?
Republican
Let's break this down. Is it because Republicans are fearful of the liberal media narrative that this whole election theft is a big lie, and therefore they're afraid to be labeled a conspiracy theorist? Is that why they
Well,
won't?
well, the
they're not
problem
willing-
is that the Democrats only consider it a lie when Republicans claim it. When Democrats claim it, it's okay to do that. That's fine. Hello, Hillary Clinton. Hello, Stacey Abrams. Hello, Beto O'Rourke.
Of course.
Hello,
course.
Elizabeth Warren. All of these people have accused the Republicans of cheating and stealing elections. Every damn one of them.
So early voting for the runoff senator race in Georgia begins next week. Who do you predict wins that race, Chris?
That doesn't matter.
Who do you think's going to win?
Oh, probably Warnock because they cheat. I'm not
Isn't it sad? Isn't it just sad that
I'm
we
not
have
going to waste my time going up there anymore.
so many people have lost faith in the election process? So many people, because it just appears to be rigged. I mean, is it possible that it's not? I suppose it is, but it certainly appears to be rigged. I mean, the security cameras going out in Arizona, video of pollsters pulling out boxes of mail-in ballots, 99.9% of being for Biden. I mean, it just certainly appears to be that there's cheating going on. But what I can't understand is that how are they getting away with it? I mean, there's not one person that's been made accountable for this. The security cameras can go out. Oh well,
They're never held accountable.
I mean,
Hillary Clinton committed massive crimes. She got people killed in Benghazi because she was doing illegal stuff on her illegal server. Do you know why those people got killed in Benghazi, Tim? You know how they got killed? Because of her. Because our bad guys were able to get onto her freaking server and find out everything that she had, which had a list of all the safe houses in Benghazi. They knew where they were. She sent that guy there, and then she does work on her little crappy computer so she can do all of her illegal stuff without us knowing. The bad guys hack into her computer and get all of our stuff, by the way. And they just happen to know where all the safe houses are in Benghazi. And suddenly there's a terrorist attack and they kill them. That was on her. And remember when she pulled out that it's a good Alinsky. What's his name? Alinsky? The guy, the book I was Rules for Radicals, Saul Alinsky?
Saul
Alinsky. One of his rules is to use false outrage if you get caught doing something. This is for the radicals. Do you remember this? Whether it's a terrorist attack or a protest, what difference does it make?
I know.
Well,
so
it makes a lot of difference because you fucking sent them there.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Stupid,
And
crazy
then
person.
Obama, as our commander-in-chief, wasn't even willing to send a fighter jet over to a flyover to disperse the crowd, to disperse the terrorists from killing our people. He wasn't even willing to do that. I mean,
No, but he was willing to do a
Right.
tour. He was willing to do a speaking tour, blaming us for offending the Muslims, and that's why it happened. Remember that? There was some
Yeah, I remember
video.
that.
They even put the guy in jail for making that video. Remember
I
that?
remember that.
They had to
remember
release
that.
him.
It's time after time after time. The Democrats just prove their incompetence,
That they
whether
get
it
away
be
with everything.
in foreign
They never
policy,
go to
domestic
jail.
policy. Time after time again, it's just complete incompetence. Yet the people still vote for this shit. I mean, it's
Dude,
like,
Trump
what
was
are you
impeached.
thinking? Are you missing your neurons in your brains? I mean,
Tim,
just-
think
it's
about this.
just
Think,
unbelievable.
Think about this for just a second. Trump was officially, with a trial in front of the world, impeached for doing the correct way of the same thing that Biden bragged about doing. In other words, he just wanted him to follow the damn law. Trump did. Biden wanted him to break the law. You better fire that prosecutor that's going after my son, or you ain't getting none of our stuff.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
admitted it. He bragged about it. They
Yeah, he did.
impeached Trump, and all Trump did was say, hey, you need to prosecute these people. That's all he said.
Yeah.
And they
that
got
kind
their
of
stuff, and he didn't hold anything up. And they impeached him over that.
It's,
But
it's
Biden
insane.
actually did it, and he's president now.
Trump. Okay. Here's the other thing that I don't understand about all of a sudden all these Republicans, and you articulated it, why you feel the way you do about Trump, and it's understandable and all this. But when you really take the deep dive, look at what this man has been through. Not just one impeachment, but two, a personal raid. I'm sorry, an FBI raid at his personal residence in Florida. Awful thing to do to a former president. The January 6th commission. Okay, that investigation. The Mueller Russian collusion investigation. I mean, this man has been through more crap
You
than
forgot about
any other president that's ever lived. And
You
I
forgot
haven't
about-
even talked.
you forgot
Go
about
ahead.
the Senate investigation and the House investigation.
The Senate investigation, House investigation, not just all that, but the trial he goes through every single day in the media,
Of just
banished
existing, yeah.
and censored from all social media. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, gone. Bye-bye. You can't be on our platforms anymore. I mean, this man has been through more turmoil, and for what? What is his motive? It's not to get rich. He's lost money doing this. His net worth has not gone up since he's been president. His net worth has been compressed. Okay, so what is his motive? Why is he doing this? He's doing this for us. He's fighting for freedom. He's fighting for America. He's not doing it for the money. Okay, so why are all these Republicans against this man? I just don't understand it. He made one little comment about Ron DeSantis. Okay, can't you kind of let that slide? He made a mistake. Can't you let that slide for all the other sacrifices this man has? You think this man needs this gig? He could be on a yacht every single day. He could be flying private jet craft every single day, going anywhere in the world, vacationing, playing golf, do that. He's not doing that. He's not doing that. He's running for president. You think what he's doing is easy? He has lost so many friends. So many people that used to back him are now against him. He's got to be thinking, what the hell? He has so many knives in his back from his so-called friends. I mean, I think the guy is the biggest fighter for his cause than anyone I've ever seen in my lifetime, and he's not even a politician.
They were
He's
going to
just a
remove
private
him.
sector guy. And we are willing to turn our back on this guy because he makes one little comment about Ron DeSantis. I
They
mean,
were-
I just think a lot of Republicans are being unfair to Trump right now. And, I hope Trump runs, and I hope he wins and beats Biden. And I hope it would be, Chris, think about this for a moment. If Trump manages to secure the nomination from the Republican Party in 2024, which I believe he will, and if he runs and wins and gets back in the White House, that would be the biggest political comeback. It would make Richard Nixon's political comeback look like nothing. It would make Richard Nixon's political comeback look like nothing. It would be the biggest political comeback of any Republican in the history of the country. Would you agree to that?
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to happen.
It could. It could happen if
I don't think so.
if the Republicans would just unite and get behind him. If the
How-
Republicans, people talk about Trump being divisive. How about freaking Biden being divisive? Biden is.
Oh, no. That's different. That's different.
Oh, they talk about Trump being divisive. I mean, Biden is divisive. I mean,
No,
Obama,
no.
they were divisive.
No. Democrats can't be divisive.
Oh, okay. That's right. They're better at virtual signaling than us.
Yeah, like when they say we sure hate half the country, we hope you all die. That's not being divisive or anything like that. I mean, yeah.
Well, you know, I would like to see the Republican Party be a little bit more supportive of Trump. I mean, he made a mistake on the DeSantis thing. Okay.
You don't understand. For one thing, I don't think he's got a shot in winning because they're cheating. I don't think. I'm so depressed about all that. I don't
Well, if
even.
that's the case, if DeSantis
I don't think
runs-
we're ever going to win another presidential election.
Well, that very well could be the case. But at least Trump will try and fight. At least we know this about Trump. At least we know this about Trump. Even though he's not motivated by any other thing other than to help. He's not doing this for the money. He's certainly not doing it for the money. He's lost money doing this. At least we know that Trump is going to fight harder than anybody else. Right or wrong, if you agree or disagree with his methods and his tone and his delivery, even if you disagree with those things, he's going to fight bare knuckle brawl harder than any conservative out there, by far. Would you agree to that?
Mhm.
Why wouldn't you want to send that? Then why wouldn't you want to send that guy in there?
Oh, dude.
I mean,
well, yeah,
you know,
normal.
you know,
You do realize we're outnumbered now.
but at
this
least he'll
country's full-
try.
We're full of
But
crazy.
at least he'll try. At least he'll try. Let's give the man one more shot.
Oh, I'd love to see him in there. It's just I see the thing I was worried about when I started watching DeSantis get big and he's getting bigger, and I went, "Please, Trump, don't say anything," and he did. I was like, "What the hell are you doing?" God, I knew you were going to do that. Don't do that.
He can't help himself sometimes.
You're the one that promoted him. Don't start insulting him now because it makes him look jealous.
I hear you.
You
It
need
was
not
not.
to do that.
It was not the best of things, but you know what? He's
If
done
he doesn't
so
ever
much.
do it again, then he's fine. But I don't have faith that he won't.
Well, maybe he's learned from this backlash, you know, and he'll, you know, tone down his delivery a little bit more. Quit attacking DeSantis, quit attacking Candace Owens, you know, quit attacking other. Maybe he'll stop. But you got to understand, he's doing that because he's seeing those people as competition. You see, he's seeing those people as competition. So he's planting seeds publicly to those people to say, "Hey, don't run against me. I'm doing this, so don't run against me. Don't get distracted." You know, it could be that. But nevertheless, I would just like to see a little bit more support for Trump and the Republican Party. So many people are against him now, and I think the man deserves another run at it. And we'll just see what happens. It'll be very interesting.
Hey.
Get your popcorn out.
Hey, maybe we could put Liz Cheney up to run for president.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Liz Cheney.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Let me
get
ask
the
you
Democrat
this.
votes.
Let me ask you this. You brought up a very interesting point here about Liz Cheney. Is it fair for Trumpers like myself? I'm a diehard. I will support Trump till the end. I will go down to with the ship with Trump because I just think he's the best leader I've ever seen.
Most effective.
Is it fair? Is it fair for people like me who are diehard Trumpers to classify the Republicans, and not just the Republican elected people like Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney and Liz Cheney? Yeah. Can I put people who are just Republican everyday voters that are all of a sudden against Trump because of the midterm result, can I start calling them Liz Cheneys?
No, because nobody's against Trump because of the midterms.
Or for whatever reason. Or for whatever reason. For whatever reason.
No.
If a Republican, no. If a Republican is against Trump, can I call them a Romney Cheney?
See, you're buying into the media telling you that everybody hates Trump now. That's not true. They want you to think that. Most of us understand this another set of elections have been stolen, and we understand that. It's not Trump's fault. The people who blame Trump are the establishment, the Paul Ryans, the Mitt Romneys, the Liz Cheneys. But we don't want them in there anyway. So they can take their shit and go.
No, I'm talking about Republican voters. I'm talking about like everyday run-of-the-mill people.
I haven't talked to one person that blames Trump for that.
I have. Oh, I have.
Why?
I've heard
How is it his
God
fault?
blame Trump for the result of the midterms. Just people that I've talked to about it over the past week. I mean,
Yeah, but
there's been
aren't these people that don't really like Trump anyway?
no. Well, you never could quite tell. They were Republicans, but they're
Yeah,
against
but you
Trump.
said you knew a bunch of Republicans that did
The
not
first
like Trump.
thing they say is, "I want Ron DeSantis," and I'm sitting there going, "Ron DeSantis isn't even a candidate." I mean, Ron DeSantis is probably not going to run. I mean, he's got 3 little kids. He's got a wife with cancer. He's 44 years old. Trump's already declared he's running. Is he really going to run against Trump and take on that big old bear? I mean, probably not. But all they say is, "I want DeSantis," just blindly. "I want DeSantis. I want DeSantis." I'm sitting there going, DeSantis ain't going to run. I mean, you can say you want DeSantis and you can say that all you want, but that doesn't mean the guy's going to run against Trump. And so anyway, it's just there's a lot of Republicans that are against Trump right now. A lot.
Yeah, but they won't be if DeSantis comes out and says, "I'm not running against Trump." Then where
Yeah,
else are
but
they
that could take a whole year.
Doesn't matter. Who else are they going to vote for? They're going to vote for Sleepy Joe?
True.
My point is that DeSantis will probably look at this, even though his popularity is huge right now. Trump can only run for 4 more years because he only get 2 terms. So if DeSantis has got, he can easily. It'd be different if Trump had never been president yet, because that'd be 8 years plus 2. That's 10 years later. He might not wait that long, but 4 years, it's not that big of a deal.
Don't you think this is Trump's last hurrah? If he loses this, he won't run again in 28, right?
Of course not. I mean, closing in on 90.
Yeah, he'd be too old.
Yeah, he'd be in his mid-80s.
So I just don't understand why DeSantis just doesn't make it clear that he's not running. I mean, why does he just come out and say, "Look, I'm not running. Period. End of story. I'm focused on being governor of Florida," instead of all these hints. I mean, why doesn't he show Trump that respect?
Well, I think you don't want to this early say either way. You really don't, because you never know what's going to come down the road, and you don't want to be stuck in some sentence that you made. He said this about that. So it could just be that he's just looking. He's not going to run. He doesn't have any intention of it. He doesn't want to. He just won the fucking governorship. So let that go for a little bit, and then come out and go, "No, I'm not running."
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, man. Any other topics you want to cover before we end another exciting episode?
Yes, I do. Yes. How about Montana voting to murder a baby if it survives an abortion, but if the mother wants the abortion, then they have to let it rot on a table with no assistance?
Awful.
I think they made a mistake.
It's awful.
No, I think it's a fuck up. I think the way they worded it on because it was one of those ballot initiatives. I think people thought, "Do you want to let a baby die?" And they're, "Oh no." But I think when they voted no, it meant no for the law. You see what I'm saying? I think they were confused. Nobody would vote for that except somebody like Barack Obama, which he did, by the way, in Chicago when they were putting that for a vote. He's such an evil human being, and he's an evil human being. He was so beholden to the abortion people that, remember how he was a state senator before he was president of the United States, with all that experience of being a. So he
was just a state senator, right? He wasn't even a U.S. senator.
I think he was for 2 years. I think he got in then president.
Okay, he was
a state senator first, yes.
But he was a U.S. senator before president.
Either senator or rep, I can't remember which. But he was only there for like a year or so. Then he ran for president. His whole experience was community organizing. But they had a vote, and it was the same exact thing. Bottom line is, you've got an abortion. It doesn't work. The baby is on a table alive. It needs medical and food. They were voting on whether to let it die, which, by the way, that's called murder. That has nothing to do with my body, my choice. It's outside of your fucking body now. This whole law, the whole idea of this law would get thrown out in court immediately because it's called murder. You're not allowed to do murder. So Montana, for some weird reason, put that up for a vote. Now, Montana's a pretty conservative area. And that's why people were stunned when they voted to let the baby die.
That's.
But I think
You think it was
I think
was
it- I
manipulated?
think it was confusing.
Okay.
I think the way they worded
enough.
it made it seem
Fair
like
enough.
that. But the good thing is, the very second this goes into any court, it's going to get thrown out because it's called murder.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's end this podcast episode with one last question for you.
Uh-oh.
I have one last question for you. I'm going to take my glasses off and point because this is a really serious
Whoa,
question.
those were huge.
Okay. So here's my question. Had the Supreme Court
Yes.
announced their decision on Roe v. Wade tomorrow instead of 6 months ago, would the midterm results been any different?
No, because they cheat. That's it.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I mean, I think
Okay.
they could have put a law up there that said we're going to kill all.
Assuming there was no cheating, which I know you and I don't really believe that, but assuming there was no cheating, do you think that Roe v. Wade decision had an impact on how people voted in this midterm?
Probably a few of the ones that showed up, but I don't think enough to affect the election. Because
Okay.
most of the kind of people that are so sorry and pathetic that they would murder their own baby because it's inconvenient, those aren't usually the kind of people that are responsible enough to go vote. Not usually.
Okay.
I mean,
Fair
they're
enough.
responsible enough to look for the video game changer. They're responsible enough to look for the liquor that they can't find or the money that they're digging into the couch for, but they're not responsible enough to go vote.
Okay, fair enough.
That takes effort and responsibility.
And so ends another exciting episode
We're back,
of
baby.
Sanity Island.
We're
it's-
back, baby.
Dang.
Okay, I'll get Doug to cut it here. And then he'll probably stupidly wait and add all this stuff that we're doing and go, there, I edited it. Of course,
All right,
he
well,
won't allow me to say that.
Email it to me when you get it done.
Oh, I will.
Okay, all right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Later.